Hello and happy Marketing Monday. I am so excited. We are at MBA Annual and I'm with Alayna Gardner of LodeStar. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is the first time we've ever met in person.
Yes.
So it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love meeting our other marketing people. And we're at the Reading Terminal. And I don't know very much about the Reading Terminal. So please do share.
Oh my gosh, you're now throwing my Philadelphia history into the thing. So the Reading Terminal Market is
Reading, not reading.
Yes, it's
Reading.
Reading. It's Reading. The Reading Terminal Market is an institution in Philadelphia. It's such a cool venue. It's actually used to be a train hall, which is not surprising at all.
Yep.
So it was just a market on top of, we're actually right over a train station.
Oh.
So there's a train
very
station
cool.
directly underneath the convention center that you didn't know you were walking over
No,
this whole
didn't.
time, but it's there.
That's awesome.
And so there are so many great merchants that come to this area from Lancaster. So we have a lot of Amish and Pennsylvania Dutch in the area. So a lot of the food is super local. It's very affordable. And honestly, it's one of the best places in Philly. A lot of people, like if you live here, you shop here.
I love this. I had a really good lunch here yesterday.
Yes.
I also might have had a really good breakfast here. I've spent a lot of time here.
It's so good. And like, if you're ever in Philly, you should be eating at Reading Terminal Market. You can walk up to any food stand and you're going to have a great meal. It's not even a question.
It's an awesome venue and it's so unique. And speaking of unique, we this week are going to talk about like unique content.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing something really interesting over at LodeStar. You're doing podcasts, you're doing comic strips, you're doing content.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for your comic strip?
Yeah, the comic strip's a weird one,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
the podcast, I think, makes sense
As soon as you said that, I was like,
like,
where'd
why?
that come from?
What's the business use case? Well, so we actually did a consulting thing. I think everyone's done a marketing consultation at some point where you bring in an extra party. They had recommended this, very kind of traditional infographic. And we were looking, and it was a tale of two mortgages is what they recommended to us. And we were looking at it and we made this infographic and we were like, this is so boring, right? And so
it doesn't stand out.
It doesn't stand
It just
out.
doesn't stand out compared to everybody else in the market.
Exactly. And so my absolutely amazing marketing content manager, he was like, I think I could draw a story.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, well, how much is this going to cost me? Right. That's one of the questions.
Right.
He's like, because we went from what was going to originally be like a 6-page comic to we actually produced like an animated short. It's not super animated, but
that's really cool.
It's corporate animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tale of Two Mortgages. And we got really great engagement on it. So we were like, you know what? He was like, I think I could make like a little comic strip every week. So actually in our weekly newsletter, the LodeStar Report, every single week, the first thing in that LodeStar Report is the comic strip of the week. So for example, he did one for MBA Annual making fun of us because obviously
making fun of you or making fun of Philly?
Making fun of the conference attendees and kind of like the sessions are so great, but also we all like to drink. We like to have a good time. We're networking in the evenings.
Yeah.
And that's kind of some of the things that we've really been able to explore and have a lot of fun with in the comic strip.
Yeah.
And since doing that, we've actually seen our open rates go up.
Love it.
We've seen more click through to our website.
Yeah, people
more
are looking forward
traffic.
to that.
Exactly. We actually have some great lenders that send us content ideas.
That's cool.
So they'll be like, here's what this ridiculous LO did this week. Sorry, LOs. And because they are two LOs, Horace and Octavia. They're a seahorse and a octopus.
Love it. Love it. No, I love the creativity there because in this space, we always rely on these traditional methods.
Yep.
We rely on email, as you were saying, your newsletter. We rely on video content. And as we start to develop more and more content, how do we stand out? So I love that comic book idea. The one thing that you're doing that a lot of my clients are also doing is podcasts.
Yes.
And when it comes to podcasts, I had this conversation earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the podcast itself.
No, absolutely
It's not about the voice recording. It's not about the long format video.
Mm-hmm.
It is all about what you do with that podcast after the fact and how creative can you get.
Yeah.
So breaking it into those short bits,
Yep.
taking it to the next step, making articles, embedding videos into your articles. Yeah.
We do all of that. I think that's one of the things that I'm so proud of that my team does every week. We produce 3 clips an episode.
Love
we make sure that the person on the podcast gets them. Sometimes they share, sometimes they don't. Like, it's fine, right? but it really creates this organic piece that people have started to know us, and we've been able to grow our brand in such a way that we wouldn't have been able to do with our budget without, right? And I think that's something that's so important to us. We're an independent company. We're bootstrap. We don't have VC. So it's really driven our team to say, how creative can we be? Because I'm not doing paid ads, right? So I need to figure out how I can optimize myself from an SEO standpoint, as well as, you know, that organic engagement on LinkedIn primarily. We're only LinkedIn.
That's so important, though, that you just talked about the SEO impact.
Yeah.
Because all of your efforts should tie back into your overarching brand.
Yep.
I mean, when we talk about the smaller companies inside the mortgage industry, or even when you talk about right now where everybody's struggling to have a marketing budget,
exactly,
what can you do with little spend? But it all should go back to that SEO strategy and that content strategy, because your efforts should always be complementing the brand.
Exactly. And it's so fun because I think by exploring who we are as people, we've really been able to give LodeStar this really unique brand, this really unique voice in the market that if we were just trying to follow what everyone else did, like we wouldn't have that. And I think that's so important. Like, yeah, we do press releases, but
everybody does press releases.
But press releases they're not my bread and butter. They're not making my life, right? A press release isn't going to make a sale. And I mean, there's a comic strip. And
I would say neither is a podcast either, but when they all work together and you get those touch points, and you have that holistic strategy, that's how you make that difference.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was so lovely to meet you in person.
I'm so excited to meet you.
We can check out next week.
This week. So this Thursday, sometime in the afternoon, I will post a Thirsty Thursday we're about to record. We have our drinks off screen. So we're really excited about that.
Talking about that mortgage conference after party.
Exactly. But yeah, I do a series every week on my personal LinkedIn called Thirsty Thursdays. Where I talk about all things kind of marketing, sales. I do both. My processes that I love, and really anything that I've thought about that week.
And I love being able to collaborate with people like you who are really stepping into the industry and saying, how can we do this better? How can we do this different? So thank you so much. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful week and a marvelous Marketing Monday. Don't miss Thirsty Thursdays this week.
Thank you.